If you could just state your name and title for the record.
My name is Azazel Jacobs, and I'm the director of French Exit.
Pleasure to be speaking with you, sir. So I saw the film, and it's been around for a while. I know it came out at the New York Film Festival, but now it's getting a wide release, and it's a bit of an odd film, I have to say. But it's based on a book, which I didn't know. But what made you want to adapt this source material, or how did the project fall on your lap?
Well, the book is just as odd as the movie, if not odder. And I like going to strange places with strangers and in strange worlds. I'm very much into. I was into escaping from my life then. I'm even more wanting to escape now.
Interesting. Now, like I mentioned, it was based on a novel, but it actually, it could just be your directing style, but it feels a lot like a play at times. So many elements, including the scenes where all the characters come together, and especially like the seances, they feel very theatrical. But did that ever occur to you while filming?
Absolutely. I find sometimes through people being theatrical, you get to see something else that seems just as truthful as when people are feeling very, lifelike, and especially in films. And I think with this particular world, it's such a bizarre world that I was able to completely create the world that I wanted to visit, and these characters were so bizarre. So that theatrics kind of were naturally part of it whenever you construct a world that's as far away as Krypton is.
Now, you mentioned that you love going to strange places with strangers, right? I believe that's exactly what you said. This film, it's weird because there's a bunch of different strangers in it, yet they feel like a familial unit. This feels very much, well, it is very much a film about family, but not so much about the people that are related to you by blood, more so the people that you kind of meet along the way in your life. I think it's very important to note that the film has a lot to say about what a solid foundation is. Uh, but is that something that you hope people take away from the film?
Absolutely. I see this as a gathering of lost souls that feel a little bit lost together. And I think that's one of the things that I look for, and that I think we all can enjoy, is sometimes finding people that are very different but just connected in our ways. And we may feel just as lonely, but maybe a little less so once we're lonely together. I love that. I love discovering that, especially from places and people that I would never expect to.
Yeah, and more than anything, it's France too. It's so weird. There's so many Americans in France.
It's true, true, but it's not the Eiffel Tower of France. I mean, I was thinking, I was like, does anybody, when you visit Paris, do people really go to the Eiffel Tower? I guess they must, but there's this whole other side. Like, just we know, going to New York City, it's like, maybe growing up here, I can think that I maybe went to the Empire State Building once in my life, but that's not really the city that we know and love, right? So I feel like the same way, I just tried to approach Paris the same way I would approach my own home.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I always hear whenever like people that I know come and visit New York, and they're like, "Oh, have you ever seen the ball drop?" And I'm like, "No, I don't think anybody from New York actually
Never,
takes
never,
off."
never. I don't even think I watched it on TV. I think that's like, this. What's the point when it's all outside on the street? I mean, a ball job, and I mean, this insanity times 100 going on right, 50 feet in front of you all the time during that day.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Now, as I mentioned before, this is a very odd film. You said it's a very odd book. I don't think this film is going to be for everyone because
Yeah.
it's especially got its own sense of wit and humor, which I actually enjoyed a lot. But for those who do see this film, what is something else that you're hoping they take away from it besides the fact that that strangers can be family and that it's okay to be weird sometimes and that life is its own crazy road? Are there any other themes or ideas that you hope really resonate with people?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. Look, the film is definitely not for everybody, but who the film is for, I think it's really for them. And I love art that's like that. That's either, and I love music that's like that. It's either with you, or you're into it, or you're not into it. There's so many things that I've been inspired by, is just that, and it's polarizing in its own way. But I think that if this turns out to be for you, it will feel like something that you didn't have and you didn't get to experience before. I want to give all I want to give an audience, especially if they're going to give me a couple hours and the expense that it costs to just go see a film. I just want to give them a new experience.
For sure. And this is my final question. Obviously, Michelle Pfeiffer is a hoot in this, and I'm not the first person to say this, but this is easily one of her best performances to date, if not her best. Was she someone that you always had in mind for the role, or how did she become involved with the project exactly?
The moment that she came in mind, I did everything could not to get completely fixated in case she decided that she didn't want to do it and my heart would be crushed and I would think, how am I going to make this film? Because the moment you think of Michelle Pfeiffer for this part, there's really nobody else. And that turned out to be completely true shooting. So luckily, the cool thing about Michelle, and I think this film, I keep saying like the story is so particular, it's so odd in its own way that if you do respond to it the way that she did, just meeting with her, I was like, oh, if she likes this, then there's a connection already. And to find out that after Michelle has proven herself so many times over and over and over and again in films, but she's still hungry, still looking to go someplace that she hadn't gone before. That was such a testament to her character, and I think what she does in this film is incredible. I mean, it's just the best. It was just one of the best experiences of my whole life.
Wow, that's incredible. And like I said, she kills it in this. The film is great. Those are all the questions that I have to
Oh,
ask for you. Is there anything else that you want to add?
oh, just I just coming out of this past year, I just hope that people get to escape into this world and get the joy that I did, having the ability to escape during this whole time into the edit room, into this world. I really hope that it finds itself to the people that are up for this type of adventure.
Thank you so much, Asa. It was a pleasure speaking to you.
Oh, same here. Thank you.
Wish you
A
the
lot of
best of
fun.
luck with the film.
I appreciate that.
Take care.
Take care.